Hello, this is Dr. Jason Munsell. It is Thursday, December the 1st. Wow. About 5:10. I'm going to give you a very brief lecture on debate strategies for your political campaign project. Some of this is going to be redundant because I've said it before in a different venue. Well, never mind. Well, yeah. Contemporary debate, for instance, the presidential debates, the three that we saw and the one for the vice presidency, is wonky. It's entertaining, I suppose, but not nearly as entertaining as my Pull My Finger Santa. My late mother-in-law gave this to me before she passed away. She passed away in 2003. So this guy has been around for a while, but I love it. Jingle smells. He has three different ones.
Looks like a storm's blowing in. Whoa, I think I woke up the kids.
Oh, that amuses me. But in any case, that's what I think about when I think about contemporary presidential debates. So, Santa and passing gas. Okay. It is a lot of gas, really. What are debates? What is a debate in the first place? I've mentioned this before, I think, in other venues again. There is some sort of confrontation between ideas. Usually folks have equal and adequate time. Usually the contestants are matched. That's not always the case. We have this facade sometimes of fair and balanced, that folks are equally matched when they actually aren't, just because there are two of them. Usually they are on a stated proposition or a specific issue or specific issues, and to gain an audience decision. Am I for this or against this idea? So, should Santa take some gas X would be a question, and there would be a pro and a con. One person talking about the advantages of Santa taking gas X, and the other one saying all the disadvantages of it. They're both experts in the field of fartology, and then the audience decides. Okay, that's what a debate is. Do we have debates in our contemporary political milieu? I don't know. A lot of people say no, not so much. They're not real traditional debates. They are counterfeit debates because there's often not a whole lot of direct confrontation, though we did see a lot of that direct confrontation here in this past year, but usually it was name-calling. It wasn't necessarily confrontation of ideas. It was more fallacious ad hominem type of attacks. And we don't really get equal or adequate time because, I mean, they try to cover too much, and it's like you got 2 minutes, and then shut up. Debaters are usually equally matched, or at least there's a facade that they are equally matched. But again, that's a problem. Is it on one stated proposition? No, usually, and when I'm thinking about all this, I am thinking about the most recent presidential debates, and also just presidential debates that we've had in the last decade or more. But it's like they do have, oh, tonight we will cover domestic issues, blah blah blah. But for the most part, they don't stick to that, and they try to cover way too much, and so all we get is sound bites. We don't get, there's my world. We don't get in-depth information. So do we get decision from an audience? Not really. We get spin. If you spin, you win. A lot of media coverage, and then they have these sort of very quick polls and stuff like that. But okay, so to debate or not to debate, if you are running for something and there is a debate, should you debate? Yeah, I would say always. So that's actually one strategy. If there is a debate and somebody asks you to debate, unless you are way ahead, unless the other person is just, well, if nobody's running against you, obviously you're not going to debate anybody unless you debate Santa, and you're going to lose. But generally, if there is a debate, even at the municipal level, if there are a few folks running for mayor and there's the city hall or somebody sponsors, the Lizard Thicket sponsors a country cooking makes you good looking debate, you should debate. But generally, you need to think about these things. Is it going to be a close election? Yes, I should debate, but I would say debate no matter what. Will I gain stuff by debating or suffer? Sometimes people are really bad at this stuff. Sometimes people are really, really good at it, but you need to practice whatever. But that's something to consider. If you are really, really bad at that, you probably want to limit the debates. So think, am I good at it? Is that something I'm good at? Am I good on my feet? And do I speak well? Blah, 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 all that type of stuff. And another thing to consider, are there just two candidates or a bunch of wackos like we saw in the primaries in some cases where I'm not going to get too much airtime anyway. It's all going to be, Billy Bob, Joe, Santa, whatever, six-pack, talking about, building a wall between United States and England. I think there is a wall. It's called the Atlantic. Do I have control over important aspects of the debate? You want to have control over it, but sometimes who's the moderator, how much time am I going to get, what's the venue going to look like, and all that type of stuff. But some general things to think about. Okay, here are some strategies. So here are all those sort of implied strategies, but here are the specific things that I think you should be considering when you are considering putting together your own debate strategies for your project. So, if you're bad at it, should you strategically lower expectations? Like, I'm not very good at this, but I'm just a regular Joe, but I want to debate so the people will hear the two different sides. Trump did that very, very well, and a lot of people said he didn't even prepare. Now, was not preparing a strategy. I mean, he lost by all. I mean, objectively, he did not fare well in the debates. Yet he won the presidency. Depending on whatever happens to the Electoral College, he will win. But so one strategy is to lower expectations. I'm not very good at this, blah blah blah. And that flip side might have hurt Clinton by saying, she's really good at this, blah blah blah. So if she didn't look unbelievably great, then she lost. What's the target audience? So who do I want to reach out there? And usually it's the folks who I want to make sure the folks who already like me are going to continue to like me, and the folks who are on the fence get off the fence and get on my side where the grass is green. Devising rehearsing possible answers. You should, and this should be part of your debate strategy. Okay, what are the possible questions that could be asked, and what could be my potential answers? Because usually you need to do that. Practice, memorize all your answers, so when you're at the debate, you got your answers. You don't have to look like an idiot. So some pre-debate strategies there. Debate strategies, during the actual debate, relate your answers, relate the issues to your overall theme and slogan, always. Blah, blah, blah.